It's an investment. Would you rather start a whole new account from zero or continue to deposit into the wealth of love you already have and increase that account of love that you already built? Hey, sweeties. Thanks for joining me on another episode of Tea and Talk, where the tea is always hot and the talk is always sweet. If you are new here, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell so you never miss anything Tea and Talk. Okay, let's get into it. 13 years, 6 months together, 9 years, 10 months married, roughly 676 date nights, thousands of kisses and I love yous, and 2 babies in a love tree. My husband and I made it a point and made an agreement to each other to never stop dating. We implemented this rule early on in our relationship. At the time, we didn't quite know the magnitude of how important continuing to date would be. As time went on, we realized just how important it is. We started to recognize and learn the benefits of continuing to date each other, and that created motivation for us to continue our tradition week after week, month after month, year after year. Those in our circle know not to bother or call or text the Stokes at 7 p.m. on Fridays, as this is our scheduled date night every week. It doesn't matter what we do. It's the point of just being together, talking and loving on one another. We've done everything from traveling out of state to boxing matches and R&B concerts to just having a sitter come and stay downstairs so we could relax in our room and watch a movie together in peace and quiet without the constant "Mom, Dad" we hear every second. The point isn't where we are, but that we are with one another, continuing to deposit into our bank of love, growing, evolving, and continuing our marriage journey. You should continue to date your husband, no matter how long y'all have been together. 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years. My advice is to make it a scheduled part of your routine at least once per week to go on a date with your husband. There are so many benefits to continuing to date, even after the I do's. Number 1, shows priority and value. You get married and settle into what is now your new life. You are trying to balance everything from marriage to work, and then if you're thinking about kids or have children, and the list goes on. Life gets busy, believe me, I know all too well, and let me tell you, years will begin to fly by. It amazes me how short a year really is. Through it all, making time for your marriage should take priority. Marriage is the most important earthly relationship you will ever have in life. Continuing to date lets your husband know you still feel that way, that your marriage is something you value and prioritize regardless of what is going on around you. Number 2, strengthens marital bond. Think about how you got where you are today. You dated your husband to develop a bond and then continued to date prior to marriage to strengthen the bond. So now that you are married, why would you stop? It's funny, many women think the marriage is the finish line, but in reality, it is just the beginning because it is a total role change, a role you have never been in before, or at least with this man. So although you already have a bond, don't let it weaken early on because you couldn't make time for each other. Continue to nourish the bond you built. Would you build a house and then let it sit there cold and unlived in? Don't let your marriage sit cold and unlived in just because life happens. Keep the bond warm. Number 3, creates intimacy. Continue to develop and build upon the deep connection you have with your husband. This is one thing that keeps marriage strong. The closeness helps, decreasing the chances of drifting apart because you nurture those moments of intimacy. Being emotionally connected and feeling and having the support from one another is like foreplay. Side note, you should be having intimate moments throughout the day with your husband, even when it isn't date night. Number 4, it's an investment. Would you rather start a whole new account from zero or continue to deposit into the wealth of love you already have and increase that account of love that you already built? Continue to date because it is going to keep the connection strong, the foundation strong, and the love you have for one another growing and flourishing. Keep building upon and adding to your love bank. Show others and your children what a healthy marriage looks like. A love that stands the test of time. Number 5, creates fun and new memories. In the world of chaos, we forget what it is to have fun. We can take life so seriously and forget to let our hair down every now and then. Having fun with your husband puts you in a place of home. You de-stress, reignite the love and flame, and have more stories to share and reminisce about. When you are creating new memories and experiencing new things together, it deepens the intimacy. So, win-win. Number 6, it feeds the flame. The saying is, if you don't fuel and feed the flame, it will die. Many marriages experience this because the husband and wife expect the flame to stay lit and run smooth on its own because, hey, they're married now. That's not reality. Marriage doesn't just magically change everything to run on its own. It takes work in every aspect to keep things going. Once the flame dies, it's going to be hard to get it back. So avoid marriage death and keep fueling the flame. Number 7, learn each other more. As couples, as mothers, as wives, as individuals, we are forever growing, evolving in all aspects. Many couples will grow apart because they forget to show interest and fail at continuing to learn one another. Likes, dislikes, values, interests, and hobbies change. Who wouldn't want to know everything there is to know about the love of their life? It shows you still care and are still willing to put in the time, energy, and work to continue to grow together. It also shows you are still interested and committed to getting to know your husband, even after the I do. Don't stop learning about him. Don't become roommates, or worse, strangers living in the same home. Another reason to continue dating, number 8, it shows you care. Many times, without doing it purposefully, we take our spouses for granted. When you date your husband, you let him know you are still interested and still choose him no matter what. It's easy to fall off and walk around in pajamas at home, but putting in effort to look your best for the man you already have tells him it matters to you. Put on that nice dress, cute pumps, shave your legs, put on that red lipstick, and let your husband know you haven't forgotten him. Number 9, improved communication. If the time is carved to date and get to know one another, then it only makes sense that with more communication comes improved communication. Practice makes perfect. Believe you me. Communicate frequently and often to improve communication in your marriage. Dating gives you that carved out time and space to communicate more and freely. Start small when planning a date night. We all know life is busy, and planning an activity for date night can be time-consuming and overwhelming. Start small and keep building up. As long as the intention is to connect, that is all that matters. Choose something you both value to make it more fun and interesting. For instance, you both love a good meal or are foodies, so go to a cooking class or cook a nice dinner at home together. Or you're both sports fans, go watch the game at your local pub or even better, at a stadium. Or you both love art, go to an art show or art museum or painting with a twist. You get the point. The problem I see is many women will nourish the relationship to see it bloom and become beautiful. They get the ring, and after the I-dos, they forget about the nourishment it takes to get to honeymoon phase. So instead of the rinse and repeat, they struggle through, all the while having the answer right under their noses. You can't expect the flowers to continue to bloom and look nice if you fail to take the time to nurture them. The work never stops. Think back to the times when you were first dating and how head over heels in love you were, how invested you were in getting to know each other. Who said that has to stop? You went through a process to get here, so why not continue the same process? The groundwork has been laid. The difference this time is you don't have to impress your husband. He's already impressed. You don't have to win his love. He already loves you. And for the most part, you know him well for who he is now, so you don't have to ask those, what's your favorite color? What's your favorite food questions? You can ask deeper, more intimate questions. Questions to get to know him more. Questions to strengthen the bond and create the intimacy aspect. Dating now takes the heat off because you already dated. But act as if you are still trying to impress, still trying to win love, and still trying to get to know him. It shows that your marriage is still a priority. You still care. You still value. You still want to take this journey with your husband. And it keeps things spicy. Keep building with him, learning with him, evolving with him, loving him, supporting him, and prioritizing him. That's what keeps the bond hefty, strong. That's what's going to create a successful and a happy marriage that stands the test of time. Never stop dating. That's all I have for you today, sweet teas. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you never miss anything Tea and Talk, like and comment below, and until next time, love and light.